Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to be taking a look in the Soulforge and telling you what I think is good and bad in there this week, what's worth crafting and what you should avoid. Also be taking a look at this weekly glory troop, the Relic Knight. Anyway, I have many jokes about rich kids, but sadly, none of them work. Do you see? Right, Relic Knight, let's take a look at this Sword's Edge Ultra Rare. Barriers an ally and gives them mana equal to half their mana cost. So basically the more mana hungry the troop you cast it on, the better this troop will get. And if they are a knight, create 3 spirit gems. Not a huge fan of that second part of the spell of the creation of spirit gems, because you could find the next round actually the enemy actually can use them against you, unless you're particularly lucky where they align when you cast your spell. But yeah, the actual spell itself actually quite useful. Get a team that's got a half star in mana kind of thing, and you can give them a huge bunch of mana as soon as you cast this, and then basically get them charged up really, really quickly. I don't see this as a key troop in the team. The kind of use I see for this is a little bit like Possessed King. Possessed King is normally a troop where if you've got a team where the first 3 allies are the main bread and butter of your team, and the 4th slot is kind of spare. That's how I kind of see this troop, popping in there. The barrier is useful, giving them half their mana cost is really useful. So yeah, as a sort of backup troop, helping out the team kind of thing, this could be really, really quite handy for a lot of people. Not as good as Possessed King, but hey, it's only an epic compared to a mythic, so still not too bad at all. And the traits are just so-so, but yeah, all in all, not too bad. I'm going to give that a okay 6 out of 10. Right, now let's jump into the Soulforge. Let's take a look at the weapons first. The Edged Blade deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by Sword's Edge allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and yellow gems for each Sword's Edge ally. So this uses green and brown, but creates blue and yellow. So obviously make sure you have a couple of other allies in your team that use blue and yellow, otherwise you are creating all that mana for no particular reason. But yeah, if your team fulfills those requirements, can be a very good mana generator indeed. Shield of the Edge is next. Remove all blue gems. This is kind of the anti-Sword's Edge weapons, I call these. These ones that sort of work against enemies, or a fight in Sword's Edge. Remove all blue gems with no effect. Deal damage to an enemy based on your magic boosted by the amount of gems removed. And if the enemy is from Sword's Edge, or if the battle is in Sword's Edge, deal double damage. So it can be effective. Just make sure the vast majority of your team doesn't rely on any blue, because every time you cast this, you're taking them all away. Ulf's Wolves deal magic-based damage to an enemy. If they are undead, eliminate all their armor. So, bit of an odd weapon in a way. Does true damage with the ability to then remove armor. Kind of, yeah. Okay, but yeah, maybe useful somewhere, but it's not coming to me absolutely straight away. Bit of an odd one, that, more collectible. Cane Sword deals magic-based damage to an enemy boosted by knight allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and red gems for each knight ally. So this uses brown and purple, creates blue and red. So a bit like the other weapon, just make sure a couple of your other allies use blue and red to make the most out of this. And then it can actually generate quite a bit of mana. Right, there's the Blade of Nefertari. Deals damage to an enemy. If the enemy uses purple mana, death mark them. So yeah, not great, but not outstanding. A lot of these weapons are just collectible. But yeah, if against a purple team, every time you cast this, you're going to give them a death mark. So not too shabby, Sherlock. What else we got? Oh, Ebon's Hammer. I do like this one. Explodey weapon. Explodes loads of blue gems based on your magic. It's magic +1. Grant a random status effect to all knight allies, so particularly effective in an all-knight team. Then summon a knight troop. So really good. Do like this one. Some good upgrades as well, like shielding, which gives you a barrier when you cast it and things like that. Really nice. Flail of Guard. This is another exploded one, I think. Yeah. Explodes. Magic +1 blue gems again. Grants a random status effect to all Sword's Edge allies this time. Then summons a Sword's Edge troop. So works very similar to that previous weapon, but on Sword's Edge troops rather than knights themselves. Any more for any more? Yes, one more. Mortal Chain. Get bashed around the head with that, you wouldn't know about it. Again, another explodey weapon. So 3 explodey weapons to pick from this week. Really good. Do like these weapons a lot. Grant a random status effect to all human allies, then summon a human troop. So, yeah, whichever one of them you like the most. Mortal Chain, Flail of Guard, Ebon's Hammer, all excellent weapons. Do like them a lot. Grab one of those if they fits into your team for the world event, which I'll be showing my team for that a little bit later on. All right, now for the troops. Let's go over the mythics first and then a brief look at the legendaries. Ullor. Ullor is still for me really underrated. I do like this dude. Eliminates magic +1 attack from the first 2 enemies, the same amount of magic from the last 2 enemies, and drain all mana from the 2 strongest. When used properly, this guy is actually really powerful. It can reduce the magic on most powerful weapons, making them insignificant, while basically making the skull damage from the top 2 weak at the same time and drain mana. And of course, the less enemies you have on the board, then the better it gets. When you get down to the last 2 enemies, those things apply to all of those troops all at once. It's kind of nuts, really good. And a fantastic third trait as well. Freeze and verify a random enemy when matching blue gems. Not getting a 4 match, just by simply matching blue. So in a blue team with a blue storm going on, really effective. I do like Ullor a lot. Really good against those tome or book teams as well, from taking away their magic and making them less effective, because they're usually in third or fourth spot. So very good indeed. The Archdeva. Well, a huge fan of this. It is good in certain teams, but it's the cast once which is really irritating about this. Choose an ally, give them a very large amount of attack, life and armor, and fill their mana. But can only be used once. So yeah, maybe leave him at the top, let him do his job, and let him be the first one to get killed off maybe. Don't know. Don't really use it a lot, but like I say, I've seen it in other teams, and it can be effective in certain ways, but hey, not particularly a fan myself. Doomclaw. Deals a small amount of damage really to an enemy, boosted by enraged allies. That can be boosted by its third trait, Provocation. Enrage a random ally on 4 or 5 matches, with separate 25% chances to devour the next enemy above or below. So I'm just not a fan of these percentage chance things. It never seems to work out quite right in this game with the maths sometimes. But hey ho, could be imagining those things sometimes, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to work like it should sometimes. It's like, you can cast this thing 5, 6, 7, 8 times sometimes and nothing happens, and it's like, I don't like to rely on chance. I'd rather know what's going to happen myself, but it is a gameplay preference if you don't mind that percentage chance of things, and it's kind of okay for newer players as well. Like if you pick this one up, or if you got it in chests, I wouldn't craft it myself, then it can be a bit of a game changer. Because if you're a newer player with lower stats against someone really high, chuck this in your Guild Wars team, for example, and it may well surprise the enemy by eating them all up. Elemaugrim. Damage to all enemies based on your magic. Creates 9 purple gems boosted by burning enemies. So yeah, not too bad. Can create a lot of mana at the same time, as well as do damage to all. Damage to all is really good against stealthy opponents and things like that. So not bad at all. Quite like that one. Good set of traits as well. Impervious is good, and Darkness does have a slow but significant effect over a long time on a long battle. And let's look at these ever so quickly. We have Nutcracker 1225. Eliminates all armor from an enemy, no matter how much they've got. So even on a really powerful opponent, all their armor gone in one go. Kaboosh. Explode all gems of one of the enemy's colors. You can't pick that, it's random. Then explode all stone blocks. Solzara. If you don't have the main souls generators, this is a really good one to pick up. gain 50% bonus souls from battle. As well as that, deal damage to an enemy, gain 10 souls. If the enemy's life is greater, deal triple damage and triple souls. So pretty good if you need souls and you don't have any of the other ones that generate souls. Forest Guardian transforms purple to skulls and transforms brown to green. Allied beasts gain a barrier. So the spell's pretty good, but its main use is that all beast allies start with 50% mana. Like really nice in a all beast team to get that quick start. Emperor Corvash. I remember as an early player, this guy being so irritating. That stun and drain mana, irritating. That dong noise, dong. This there, you stunned, all your mana's gone just as you're about to cast. It's like, ah. So basically, if it's a pain for you, it can be a pain for the opponent. So I still think this is a decent troop, really good, still use it now and again. True damage to the first two enemies, stun them and drain their mana. And a good set of traits as well. Stun a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches is the best one, and the other two are pretty decent too. So who gets my Mythic of the Week out of this motley crew here? Elemaugrim. It's not going to be Doomclaw. It's not going to be Dark Devash. So it's between Elemaugrim and Ullor. Now the way I work these things out sometimes and think of it is, if I had to pick one of these, which one? If they all had to go apart from one, who would I keep? And it's out of Elemaugrim and Ullor. Now Elemaugrim, I don't actually use it that much, even though it does damage to all, which is useful, and it's a good mana generator. It does work really, really well in certain teams, absolutely. So I'm not saying it's no good. It is fantastic in certain teams, but Ullor is more versatile for me. That spell, when used properly, can absolutely cripple the opponent in a massive, massive way. And that third trait there can be good in any team. You could have this, in a team with Ullor right at the bottom, with the first 3 troops as the main bread and butter, heart and soul of your team, with a spare slot at the bottom, and just pop him in there for that. Freeze and Fairy Fire a random enemy with matching blue gems to be really effective, and use the spell as a bonus. So I am going to give Ullor my Mythic of the Week. I really, really like it. Well, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give that like and subscribe button a wallop. Helps out a great deal. Thank you very much if you just did that. And I'll be back later on with my world eventing. But thanks for watching this one, and I'll be back later on. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.